Sorry, I got paused right in the middle of this introduction, and because we were looking at a funny thing about a panda and stuff growing out of its face, so that's why the screen was black for, I don't know, a couple seconds. It's maybe it was a whole minute. I don't know. Anyway.
Sorry.
Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the Pieces That Pat Paints. We're back again painting pieces. I'm in my robe today because I'm really sore in my legs. I've been gardening a lot, so I'm really tired. Like sore-wise. I am mentally, I'm pretty okay. Feeling a lot better since last week. Oh, that illness was so bad. I really hope no one ever has to deal with that ever in their own personal life, because it's truly awful.
It's unfortunately super common right now, so.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of people suffering from the norovirus. So definitely, again, like I said yesterday, clean and sanitize your house, and if you do catch it, definitely clean and sanitize yourself and all the areas that you were touching while you were ill, because it is going to be on everything. So I watched this animation about the fight with this Malaketh guy several times, so we could get a couple looks at some things that are going on. There's a lot more gilding on this cloak than the print would have us believe. Also, there's some differences in his little tabards and stuff like that. So we might have to see if we can't add a couple freehand pieces there just to kind of make it look right. But we'll get there eventually. Right now, we got plenty of edge highlighting to do with our bronze to get all this stuff caught up to where we want it. But I do have a much better idea about exactly how he's supposed to look. So anyways, I watched the same fight, same like 20-minute fight like 4 times. It was mind-numbing. Anyway, let's get started. If I can turn on the music in time. Okay, where is he? There he is. He's all the way over here. Alright. Okay, so back to the same thing we were doing yesterday. Hello, Miss Tappy Toes.
I guess she just wanted you to say hi to her. There she goes.
Yeah, that dog is weird.
Checking on you.
I guess. And this is definitely something you will get better at as you go. So just keep practicing it. Don't be afraid of it. You'll mess up a lot the first several times you do stuff like this. Heck, I still messed up, and I've been doing it for a while. I do always find it easier to pull my paintbrushes instead of push them.
Button's got my stress ball down off my desk. It's now his toy.
That's fantastic.
He's like playing soccer with it.
Oh yeah. Now you can't always pull. Sometimes you have to push. You have to, and by that I mean coming up or down. Sometimes you have to come up. But I always feel like it works better when you go down instead of up. There we go.
I even feel that with the coloring that I do. It's like You always want to do it this way, except for when you can't.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. A lot of different things are like that. Art and carpentry is like that too. It's always better to do it this way unless you can't do it that way. I bet you there's a whole bunch of things out there that are like that.
Yeah.
What are you doing, you psychopath? Cat's over there being a terrorist.
Destruction.
He's the king of destruction.
He's really been knocking a lot of things off today. Like anything he can knock off anywhere, he's been pretty on that.
He's something else, man. See, there's Big Miss Stroke right there. It is a ton of edge highlighting. That's like most of what this model is.
Now the edge highlighting is like super delicate, frustrating thing to learn how to do. So.
I find it really relaxing. It's just really hard to talk while you're doing it.
Yeah.
There's
you find it relaxing now that you've got it. Like, learning it, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things that when you're first learning it, you're like, it's frustrating because it's really easy to mess up.
Yeah, you have to kind of go at it with a mentality of I'm gonna make these mistakes and I'm gonna learn this process and not get too caught up in the mistakes that you're making.
Right, because it's totally
because you're gonna make totally gonna make them. There's nothing you can do about it, so you might as well. And edge highlighting is so weird on 3D printed models in particular because like sometimes something doesn't get put together right. And like sometimes it's because of the sculpt itself. It's not the print or anything like that. It was the person who like designed the file. It has like a flaw in it. And so when you're looking at it and you're like, oh wait a minute, this doesn't, it's like they forgot to put a detail in somewhere or something like that. They forgot to add the thing and there's like a hole. Like he has one right here in the side of his leg where there's this weird hole, and it's not, there's not fur and there's nothing. It's just you can tell that there's a flaw right here. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's really hard to see because it's not a big flaw. It's not a major flaw.
But then you're trying to mask that.
Right. Well, in the way the sculpture sits, you don't actually see this.
Which is nice, yeah.
Right. So like it's not a big deal. But sometimes you'll get a model that has like a glaring flaw and you have to like figure out how to fix it. And then sometimes you'll get a model that like prints wrong. And so it wasn't the file that had the flaw.
I've seen that. Right.
You have a print that's wrong and you have to figure out how to kind of like get through the print. And when you deal with like a GW product, you know, like these guys here, this is a completely different kind of product. And so like they look exactly the same. you could buy 100 boxes of these, and there's not going to be any variation in what they look like. They're going to look exactly like this every single time.
Right.
So there's some pros and cons to 3D printed models.
Absolutely, yeah.
And edge highlighting is where a lot of that, like if you're just you're doing a little bit of a quick throwing it together kind of painting, it's not going to show up. It's going to show up when you start trying to put in details like this.
Right.
Which is why a lot of those, those other more refined products are more acceptable for like competitions and such. You can see why they limit what you can use 3D print wise, because it can give you a flaw that you didn't necessarily need to have. And it also evens the playing field, because if it's requiring it to be mostly Reaper parts or whatever the competition's requiring, it can standardize it a little bit more so that it's an even playing field for the people painting. Since it's not like a model contest, it's like a painting contest, like who can paint the miniature the best. It's a completely different kind of situation. You start trying to like paint a 3D print, and there could be, like I said, flaws in that print, and now you're losing because of a flaw. So that's why, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that talk on forums and stuff about like, they'll talk about why don't they let us use 3D stuff printing in these competitions, or and that's the reason why, because you have to make it as even as possible.
Well, and that makes good sense. That's the reason why you don't want to 3D print certain things, and then there's reasons why you do want to 3D print certain things. Like when we play D&D, it's a lot of fun for somebody to come up with a character in their mind and then flip through the files and find something that looks like this character that they've envisioned and printed out and painted up and have their character come to life. Like there's a place for both. It's just using it for what it's for.
Well, and like, a lot of this is more, we're dealing with competitions versus what you're doing at home. I mean, if you're doing your home stuff, again, we're down to that. All these games are 80% headcanon anyway, so it doesn't really matter if you're using a 3D printed thing or something. I think that dog may need to go out.
Okay. Come on.
And that's maybe why she keeps coming in here. I feel like I'm painting Chaos Terminators, like really big ones, or like the like Black Legion in particular. All this black and bronze.
Yep, that's what you wanted. Aside from the wind blowing the pollen in your face, it's nice out there.
Yeah, it is super humid today, so it does feel like the wind is just blowing around wetness. It's like being in a sauna that has a small fan in
it. It's kind of ugly.
Yeah. It's like the wind in Oklahoma never actually stops, for all of our viewers that aren't from here. Like, I've been to lots of places in this world, and there's several places where the wind stops. Like, it just completely stops, and you can have a day, or maybe sometimes two, where it's just like still. Like, you maybe have like...
If it completely stops, you look for the storm that's about to take you out.
Right, if the wind completely stops in Oklahoma, then there's a tornado coming. Like, you're in trouble. So... So like, and it only stops for like 5 or 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
then you're in trouble.
Trouble.
So it doesn't. It's not like that, but you know. Anyway, there's places out there in this world that you can go in, and it's a little different, and it's just kind of interesting to deal with the wind here. For anybody who's never been, and it gets, I know, like it gets kind of weird if there's not like a 20-mile-an-hour wind going on. And people are kind of like, oh man, it's not windy today at all.
Yeah,
and then
the days that it's like 7-mile-an-hour winds, they're like, I wish a breeze would blow.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like it's 10 mile an hour, and people are like, oh man, there's no wind at all, and you're like, It's a lot like being in the coast. If you're ever in a coastal towns are like that too. It's like always windy. I mean, not every coastal town, but
it's common, yeah.
It's pretty common. A lot of coastal towns are just windy.
The water makes wind, usually.
Oh, yeah. This reminds me of playing Black Legion. Black Legion's a Chaos Legion in 40k, and there's the same motif, black and bronze trim.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I need to find a metallic black that I like.
You keep saying that.
It's not the easiest paint to find.
We need to go somewhere else.
I gotta go over to New World and check see what he's got. He's got a lot of different stuff. I haven't been over there in about a month anyway, so try to check in. They're my local, so I try to go to my local. But I try to go everywhere because, like, you gotta support your shops or they'll go away. And then you don't have anything. There used to be this shop. My favorite shop is long gone. Both my favorite shops. I had two of them. One of them was called the Game Room or something. I can't remember. That might have been wrong. May have just been the Game or the Room or something like that. Anyway, it was over on 23rd and Meridian. And that's where I bought my first vampire, and those bio dice that you cannot get anymore because they don't make those colors, the proper colors I have. You cannot get those anymore, and they're long gone. And we used to be able to ride up there and on our bikes when we were kids and buy stuff. And then there was another place called Grey Knight, way out on the expressway. And it's long gone. The Games HQ has been holding on real strong, and New World has been there for a while. Although I didn't find it until recently. There's actually two of those. There's another one on the north side. I don't know if they're related or not. They look to be like the same kind of ownership because they have the same motif.
You never know how deep franchises go.
Well, and it could be the same guy, or it could be like brothers, or each one of them has a store, but it's under the same like.
Could it be franchises, and the franchise make everything look the same?
That is also true. That one kind of got a little smudgy on me. Holy moly, that's a lot of gilding.
That's what makes it, though.
Oh, it really does. It sells the heck out of the model.
Yeah. It's kind of boring until you do it.
Oh, yeah. I kind of want to work his legs up. I want to kind of get it done before I put the head on. I want to have everything done and we're going to put it together.
I understand that. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a big project. It's been a lot of fun. We're up to 12. This is episode 12.
Wow.
One of them was only 30 minutes, but...
Yeah. Still...
Yeah, it's a lot.
If you only count it as 11 episodes, that's still impressive.
It really is. Alright, yeah, I really like having that leather in there. I think that's going to look great as leather. Just to give us another color.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the animation, you can't really tell what's going on in a lot of that. And so like this guy here, I'm going to turn these into leather. Because these color pieces are really going to give us a little, just a break for your eye.
Right.
So that you can...
If it's not his fur, that really helps, like, differentiate it from his fur.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and differentiate it from the metallic parts of the armor.
Exactly. You can clearly tell it's 3 different things. The armor, the fur, and...
Well, and it's more realistic because, like I was saying yesterday, armor is put together a certain way. There's a way they put it together, and what's going to hold it to his body isn't necessarily the metal.
Mm-hmm.
It's especially on like your joints, knee pads and stuff like that aren't going to be held on, by gravity.
Right.
Or clamped down onto you typically.
Right.
I mean, not always. I'm sure that you could. I'm sure you could nail it into somebody's flesh or whatever, but it's pretty crazy.
Leather seems the preferable choice for sure.
Right.
Or cloth or whatever. Something to that nature.
Well, typically with armor it was leather because leather is so much of a... It's a really powerful substance and it can take a lot of giving. Because you want it something that's going to be able to handle being in combat.
Of course.
Seeing like this side of this knee wasn't really done. It wasn't sculpted, so there's no fur in here or anything like that, where there probably should have been. But again, it's part of that. It's that part of the model that you're not really going to see just based on the way it sits, because it's underneath his knee, and you're going to have to pick up the whole model and like look into a spot to actually see it. So the sculptor didn't have to work too much to do something like that because it's just kind of irrelevant in a way. Till the painter comes in, and the painter's like, well, shoot, why didn't you put that in there? Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Because that's just how it be. That's just how it be. How it be. Beep, 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 beep. I'm getting used to having this microphone right here where I can just paint. I feel like it's picking up my voice a lot more.
I am still listening too.
Well, that's good. That's what we definitely want. People who are listening can be able to tell us, because I didn't hear it. Goodness. Okay. Where are we going?
I actually didn't know what you were doing differently. I thought maybe you changed some settings or something.
No, I'm literally, I've got I straddling the mic. I mean, not like that, guys. Listen, be civilized. We'll put you up there before you get knocked off somewhere. Oh. I think you're gonna, every now and again, you're just gonna make a little error. Eventually, I feel like one day I'll stop doing that, but today is not the day. Like I said, we're going to come back through with a little bit of a black anyway. A metallic black. Because it is definitely some sort of black metal when you look at it on the game. And I'd love to have a black metal anyway. Just because I love black metal.
You're shopping. Could go pick the boy up and go. I'm sure he'd hate that.
Oh yes, take that child to a game store. Actually, any of our children. They all love the game store. Even the oldest one. Heck yeah. I want to do this gilding on this so bad. I'm going to do it. Doing stuff like this. Oop, that sword's just going to poke its way through everything. You're just trying to kind of mimic the direction of the thing and bring the paint across the tops. It's the same idea, really. It just, you know, it's going to move all around a lot more than, you know, say a straight line will. Just very carefully, bit by bit, put it all on there. It's just a whole lot more fun to do this really quick than it is to continue banging my head against all these straight lines. And I really kind of want, I almost want those individual tabs to be bronze. don't actually know that I saw these on him in the source material. I have to look again. And that's the thing, is he's moving so fast, and like things are happening so quickly in that thing that like, and you don't ever see all of it.
Right.
And you know, I doubt that they're gonna let, you know, a 3D artist on the internet get a hold of the actual 3D model that they use in the gameplay. It just doesn't seem. I mean, maybe, but. So for like a guy who's just duplicating something from looking at the game, this is a really killer sculpt. Like I said, the things where there's like little misses and stuff like that are things where they don't actually make a big deal overall. And if you were trying to turn out a sculpture and make some money, he did a pretty good job. I would definitely recommend the sculpt. It's been a heck of a fun painting it. Heck of a lot of fun. Even though I'll always look back at this project and remember the norovirus. See, like right here we got a situation where I'm not sure if this is the sculpt or if this is from the print, but we're missing. I guess not. I guess they're both like that. I'm tripping. Too late now. That's stuck on there. We can black that off. Oh, we'll deal with it later. So it looks like it changes once it gets to his legs. It's a different style, but they're still gilded. So we're going to gild them all. Goodness. That was a bad stroke. That's the thing, after a while I start getting bored with it, and that's where I start making my mistakes. That's where you gotta start pulling that focus in and get professional.
Or if you're a hobbyist, put it down for a while.
Yeah, if you're a hobbyist. If you're a hobbyist, definitely put it down for a little while.
Yeah, I'm actually not done with that other picture. The sky is not finished. I got frustrated with it and put it down.
Oh, the sea serpent?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I'm confessing.
I like it.
Last time I did this, it took me like 3 months to go back to it. And when I finally did, it took me like 20 minutes to finish it the way I wanted it.
Do be that way sometimes. It do be that way. That Millennium Falcon sat in a box for decades, and now it's sitting over there on the wall.
Yeah. I'm taking a cramp in the hand I'm not coloring with.
Yeah, hand cramps are always weird.
Jealous?
Probably from all that picking you did yesterday.
Yes, I did a lot of extra hand exercises at work yesterday.
Another thing about 3D prints is that they have all these weird things where sometimes you don't know if it's part of the model or part of the structures and the supports until you start messing with it and painting it, and then you're like, oh, that is definitely should have came off of there. I am thinking about writing something on his foot that goes on the pedestal. Like put Andy on it. Or we'll put gold for Mike. That's our patron's name. That would be kind of fun.
That'd be kind of fun.
Let's write, or we can write MG. He'd be the only, like him, he could actually go back to these videos and show it, be like, well, look, he put my name on it. Like, I'm totally doing it. Holy moly, this little foot right here is gonna be hard to get done. Okay. It's at a funny angle. So it's kind of hard to get. Kind of hard to get right on it. I have to just kind of keep moving around till you find the right angle to get it done. And it looked like his claws are pretty black. We may come back with our black ink again and do that so that they've got that shininess like a nail should have.
Right.
Goodness. Okay. Okay, got that front part, I think. The funniest part about having these little tiny brushes and doing this little miniature stuff is, it's like sometimes you're trying to find an angle to get to this thing, and by the time you find the angle, the paint on the tip of the brush is dried up.
Oh crap.
Womp womp. Like, oh, there's nothing there to actually use, so he's such a big boy. He kind of, after about an hour, my hand is tired enough. I definitely have to take a break.
Right, just from holding it up.
Just from holding him. He gets heavy. Well, and he's like spread out with this sword, so the balance of it is very strange. It doesn't have like a natural balance point to it.
That makes sense.
It's interesting. We try to get him mounted. It's got a pin that goes in his foot that'll help.
That's good.
Yeah, I had to put that in there.
Oh, I added that.
Oh goodness, it's a lot. It's a lot of bronze. One foot left. Of course, this exposed foot is a whole lot easier to get to naturally. Yeah, we're about 47 minutes in. That is about when my hand starts to get tired with it. Every time. Like, okay, I'll be like, okay, I'm getting a little tired. What time is it? I'll look over, and it's usually like 45 to 50 minute area.
Mm-hmm.
So close to having these legs done now. A major coup. A major coup for me. Try not to put too much pressure on this tail. Kind of using it as just a light pivot, but I'm holding most of the weight in this other hand. That tail is not strong. It will break if you put too much pressure on it. It's only held together like by this little bit right here. So this thing will snap off. Goodness. Wow, yeah, that looks so different with all of the gilding done on the legs. Completely different looking piece.
Definitely.
Alright, we're gonna throw some quick brown on this wrap here. Using my old caddy. My old ratty nasty. It holds a lot of paint though. This is definitely just a quick base coat I want to get done so it can dry for tomorrow. Alright. Oh yeah. Definitely having a very different look nowadays from where we were just a few days ago. Coming along really quickly. And after watching this animation, we are definitely going to come back and throw some gray strikes. Just a few gray streaks through some of these. That's really going to help sell that hair because there's a lot more gray in it than I originally thought. So we're going to come back and do that. But I'll do that later. We did nail the rest of this color on him. He's pretty gray on the rest of it. So we've got the rest that looks great. Wow. All right, where's my... let's get him all on there and take a look. And this is an actual part of how he fights in the game. Why he's set up on this pillar. Because he like jumps and grabs on these pillars and comes and fights you. It's crazy. So there we go. Got a great look. Really outstanding. I want to do a little bit more work with this sword later too, after looking at that. So we're going to do some more of that in the next couple of days to come. So we got all that going for us, which is great. Yeah. Exciting stuff. I do think we're going to try to start doing some more regular videos. I have been talking about this for a while and trying to convince myself to do it, so that we can get a little bit more movement and stuff on other parts of the internet. More people coming in to see what we're doing, because the more villagers, the better the village, right? But that's about all I got for you today. I gotta take a break. My hand's getting tired. So we're gonna let you go. Oh, and the refrigerator kicked on.
Right then.
And I hate trying to talk over that refrigerator. Even though now with the mic and stuff, you don't really hear it. But,
you hear it.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying you hear it.
Oh yeah, I hear it. I definitely hear it. It makes me crazy trying to talk over it. Anyway, you guys have been Pat. No, I've been Pat. You guys have been the audience. That's Kristen, the lovely Miss Kristen, who comes and hangs out with me on Wednesdays. She's my partner in all things that concern life, liberty, death, freedom, taxes, all that. Anyway, I do hope you guys have a great day. I did. So I hope you do. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.